Okay, let's take a big breath. Reach it up and come over and over. One more each way. And then come back to center and let's circle it out. Good morning. And let's keep circling. Good Lord. And then let's circle our elbows. Okay. I don't get that. Good. And let's make some big lazy backstroke arms. And if you haven't muted me or muted yourself, don't mute me. Go ahead and do that. We're just getting warmed up. Swing those arms. Good. And roll your shoulders. Just check your settings. Good. Okay, let's come down to the hips. We'll do tick-tock. So we're in week 3. You've made it through 2 weeks. You know the routine. I still have to remember what we're doing, so I look down at my sheet. You don't have to remember anything, but you've learned the moves. And so today we're going to push a little bit, mostly because we are doing bigger lifts with chest and back. We are going to focus on going a little bit heavier where we can. So if you got the little video about using bands to help increase the resistance of the weights if you can't go up anymore, or just to increase the challenge because you'll have resistance. Just follow along with me, I'm not counting. Increase the resistance in both directions, lifting and lowering, then you'll be fine. Just do something today that increases your challenge. It could be more reps, could be more weight, in which case you might be doing fewer reps. Let's come down to the knees. You can also, if you don't have heavier weights, slow things down a little bit. And instead of just going up, down, count to 2 or 3 going up, count to 2 or 3 coming down. Just increases the amount of time you're holding the weight, which also helps get you stronger. But we're not there yet. Okay, let's circle out the ankles. And go both ways. Switching sides. And going both ways. Okay, bring your feet under your hips. We'll prance it out. Nice slow roll through your foot. Notice if your foot just wants to drop. See if you can slow it down, control the movement. Good. And then we're going to come into first position. I want you to think about when your heels are together, can you zip your legs together too? So your thighs, knees, calves touching any portion of your leg. We all have different shapes to our legs, it's okay. But what we want to do is draw everything into the midline. And we're going to lift up, trying to keep your heels glued together. So really funny releve here. Good. 6. Nice. Three more. Okay. And then we're going to take our feet pigeon-toed. I want you to think about pushing your heels out as far as you can. Your heels are going to want to migrate back to parallel, but Let's come up and see if you can find the whole ball of your foot as you're lifting up. So your toes are together and your heels are out. You're very pigeon-toed. There you go. One more. Okay. And walk it out. Find your balance on one leg or hold on to something. This doesn't need to be balanced. We're gonna do our ankle wiggles. So counting to about 20 or 30 wiggles. Your leg stays still and it's just your foot going side to side with your toes pointing down. And if you think about it too much, your foot does weird things, so don't think about it too much. Just try to keep your toe down and your ankles going side to side. And if you end up making circles, that's okay. Ankle circles are good for your ankles also. Let's switch sides. Let's point down. This is just how much control do you have over that ankle? How strong are those little muscles? Depending on how your ankles have gotten you through this life, you may have more or less control, and that's okay. Okay, so finding your balance back on your first leg or holding on to something, we're going to pick our knee up, rotate that knee out, lift your inner ankle up to the ceiling. Kind of like you're kicking a hacky sack. Yep, it's okay to hold on. Three, two, one. Let's switch sides. So knee up, rotate out, and lift. Okay, let's bring our feet down. Let's go side lunge to side lunge. So think about pushing your hips back and down, staying as low as you can. Sometimes I do this, I think like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, that movie. And we're gonna reach, staying as low as you can with a nice flat back. Nice and low. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center, walk your feet in a step or two. And let's do some shoulder drops. So first one is slow. Breathe in, check in that your rib cage wants to move before you force it. Get some breath in there. And then we'll go side to side for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it up. And let's go into our Russian dancer. That's where we go into spinal flexion all the way down. And then we come up, greet the day, spinal extension. So let's go for 10 of them. Down and up. 2, 3, 4. Absolutely bend your knees in this. Those Russian dancers are down in a squat, kicking their legs out. We're doing everything but that kick. And 10. Good. Going low to high, nobody's dizzy. I didn't see anybody fall over. Good. Okay, let's grab a band. A loop band to put around our wrists. Okay. And let's roll your shoulders back and down. We don't go through life with our shoulders pinched back and down, but we can exercise this way and keep the posture. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, actually, and pull apart. See if you can feel your shoulder blades moving and working as your back muscles initiate the movement. So your arms are straight. My hands aren't moving very far because it's a tough band. Well, tough band for doing this. It feels like a new band too. New bands are always stiffer. Maybe I'm making excuses. Here we go. Let's do 3 more. 2 and 1. Okay, then we're gonna pull apart, and don't worry about your shoulder blades, just keep your back muscles engaged. We're gonna do little pulses as we lift up. So we're gonna do this twice, up and down. Nice. Good. Nice work. And up. And down. Just make sure your shoulders aren't hunching to your ears. So keeping your hands pulled apart on the band, so there's a lot of tension here. Bicep curls. So bend your elbows, bring your thumbs to your shoulders. And next one, we're gonna hold up at the shoulders, reach forward, pull the band apart as you pull in. So reach and pull, reach, pull. 5, 6, 7. 3 more. Okay. We're gonna take an overhand grip. You can stay standing. I'm just coming down closer to the camera. You're gonna double up your band so it's tiny and take an overhand grip on it. Check in with your shoulders. You don't want to be up here. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. And initiating with your back, we're going to pull apart. It's hard. Pull and pull. It's in the back. You might feel it in your shoulders, but I want you to feel it mostly in your back. So it's not really a forward back thing. My hands aren't moving. I'm just trying to tear that band apart. Like I'm trying to snap it in half. Like you got something really tight and you can't break it. And you want to. 2 more. Nice. Good. And then we're going to unfold it. Give our shoulders a little more love. Overhand grip. You're going to pull apart down at the bottom. So this is where the band gets pulled apart, elbows squeeze in. We're going to reach up, pull down and squeeze your elbows in. Right in front of your face. Nice. Good job. Breathe. Keep the tension where it needs to be. Take the tension out of your neck. This is your back working. Back, shoulders, arms. Your neck doesn't need to do anything. 2 more. Good. And then while we're here and it's arm day and we have a band, why not? You're gonna make a stop sign with your hand and loop the band around your 4 fingers. You're gonna hold it like a bow and arrow and pull. 2. Warming up those rowing muscles. 4, 5, 6. Keep your elbow up high as you pull. The last one, and we switch sides. Okay, so everybody on side 2? Let's go for 10 on side 2. So your arm that's straight, we're working triceps. Arm that's moving, we're working your back muscles. 6, 7. 2 more. All right, shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out. You need to grab a drink. Okay. Let's grab a weight. We're going to do our funny crossover side bends. So we're going to cross left foot over right and hold the weight in your right hand. So temptation is you're going to want to do this. I want you to start like this. And what I want you to pay attention to is what your big toe is doing, because it's very easy to let either side of your foot come up. in either position on the floor. So think about keeping the whole ball of your foot grounded as you're doing this. The weight's on the back leg, front foot's for balance, but keep your big toe in contact with your floor. And we're gonna side bend down and up. See if you can feel these muscles initiating. Put your hand right here. You feel those muscles working. Let's do one more. And we'll switch sides. And switch legs. Cross over. Engage the balls of your foot. Keep your weight in back. And we'll go down. Nice. Next, try not to let your weight drift all the way into your front leg. Keep the back leg engaged. Two more. Good. Let's put that down. And we're going to come down on the floor and do our arm bar rotation exercise. Okay, so find a weight you're comfortable with. It doesn't have to be a big weight. So I want you to first notice where your back is on the floor. This is super important for rotation. Make sure you don't have a big gap here where your low mid back is popping up and you can get your hands underneath. So take a big breath in, big sighing exhale. Let your rib cage come down and let your spine settle onto the floor. You're not pressing it, you're just settling and keeping your ribs and your hips kind of in alignment. Okay, so from here, settle your shoulders down and let your neck relax. Okay, take one arm up. I've got my right arm up. I'm going to reach, but I'm also pulling my shoulder down, keeping broad across the collarbones, broad across the back, making a post. So my arm is not going to wobble all over the place if I can help it. It's going to stay nice and strong. Knees up into tabletop. And let's twist down away from that weighted arm. So we're testing it. This is shoulder stability. A lot of times the focus is on, oh, we need more mobility. Well, sometimes you get mobility after you improve your stability. We have four more this way and then we switch sides. Two. So you don't need to touch the floor. I'm not touching the floor. You want to keep your arms stable and you want to make sure you're not losing control. Okay, let's switch sides. Settle your back again if you need to. Reach up. And we're going to go down. Think about trying to keep your knees together. They don't need to be, mine are not together, but they're moving together. They're never more than 3 or 4 inches apart. And when you get to 8, come back to center. And we're going to hold the weight up. We're going to do just a wee bit more with this. So you have the weight in one hand. Let's take the arm out and the knee out and come back to center. I'm just going to do a few of these. So just switching hands and combining the rotation with a fly. Slow and controlled. You'll wake up the core if it wasn't woken up already. Okay, one more each side, and we move on. Guaranteed this you will see again. It's one of my favorite moves. So let's put the weight down safely. Slowly work your way up to standing. Back should be happy, core should be happy, legs got a little break. Ankles, we'll see how our ankles are doing. Okay, so balance. We were doing it against the wall. We're gonna do something totally different today. We'll see if I can do it too. We're gonna start with a static balance. Just holding your knee up for 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, take your knee out to the side. For 3, 2, 1, let's cross the midline. And come back to center. Whoops, I need more room. I have the bench behind me. So you're gonna come up, flex your ankle, and come into an airplane hold if you can hold it. My left leg doesn't want to do it this morning. We're gonna try coaxing it. There we go. And bring it down. And we're going to be playing with this a little bit more next week too. Bring your knee up, we're switching sides. 10 seconds. Because it's one thing to hold your balance when you're static. It's something else to hold your balance when you're moving. And then cross your midline. Should have shown you the side first. And then we're going to come back to center, flex your ankle, and come into an airplane balance if you can. Find that stability on your standing leg. Nice, 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 nice. And come up. And let's get into our workout. So we have our reverse Nordics, one arm rows, our split squats, and a floor press. How could I forget we were doing chest press today? So let's start down on the floor on your knees. Squeeze your heels together. We're going to go for 30 seconds, and we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. So you're going at your own pace. We're not trying to keep count. We're just increasing the amount of time in which we are doing this exercise. So core is strong, glutes are engaged, abs are engaged, and you're getting a big stretch. And if you're like me and at least one other person, you've been feeling your quads this month, and this is why. This and the hip hurdles we do on Thursdays. Good, that's 30 seconds. Nice work. Let's rearrange my room here. Find your heavy weight or your weights plus your band. And we're going to go into our one arm row. So you can just stand on one end of the band, wrap. There you go, good job. And where you stand on the band is up to you. If the band is shorter, you get more resistance. If the band is longer, you get a little bit more slack. It feels easier. So starting non-dominant, let's hit it. So 10 to 12. If you're going heavier this week, you might be hitting 9 to 10. That's okay. Six, nice controlled movement. Two, and when you're done with your one side, go to the other side. Take your time. I'm not going to move on until everybody's done. Good. Okay. So rear foot elevated split squat. If you're doing it on the floor, try putting your foot back up on a step. If you were doing it on a step, unweighted, think about maybe adding a weight. If you were doing it with weight, think about going a little bit heavier, or maybe playing around with which side you hold the weight on. I'm not going to be dogmatic today because everybody has a different I was going to say something is better for you one way than the other. I'd have to know how you move before I can say that, and I can't say that. So I'm going to go heavier. We'll see if my left leg has a fit with that. But we're going to start, you can start seated, stick your legs out straight, or go 1, 2, 3. You can take 3 steps from your step and then put your foot back up. Okay. And so same thing, we're going to try for 10 to 12. If you're going heavier, you might do a few less. Nice. Okay. So a cue reminder is think about driving that back knee down to the floor. So instead of just focusing on what your front leg is doing, see if you can get a stretch off the back by driving it down to the floor, pushing through your front foot to pull up. Whoop. And watch. Nice. Really nice. Good job, you guys. Okay. And then we come down on the floor for the floor press. I'm so grateful that bench is light. So your challenge might be to see if your floor press, chest press, and your row, you can use the same weight. If you're using a band, you're going to put it behind you, just under your shoulder blades. You're allowed to take a breather in between lifting when you're going heavier. Okay. You're lying down on the floor. You can tuck the band under your arms and then lie down. There you go. Grab your weights and same range, 10 to 12. When you're done with your 10 to 12, let's take a break. Let your heart rate come down. My watch thinks I'm walking. Couldn't be more mistaken. Technology. Okay. Let's take maybe another, up to about 30 seconds if we're going to take a minute between sets. We just worked our arms. We don't need a huge break. Your legs should be pretty recovered. So grab a drink, swing your arms, stretch what needs to be stretched. You can clean up your floor space or not. I'm not going to do it. And we're going to go into our reverse Nordics. Round 2, set 2, whatever you want to call it, fine with me. And let's go 30 seconds here in 3, 2, 1. So see how far back you can go, and then come all the way back up. All the way back. See if you can reach your heels. Haha, I can't do it either. Come on up. Nice. Should be a huge stretch on those thighs. And rest. Good work. Coming up for a 1-arm row. Starting non-dominant, please. Okay. Get your setup. Yep, brace yourself on your knee. If you don't have a piece of furniture, anchor the band with your foot. Beautiful. Good, lean over as far as you can. And try not to rotate. See if you can focus on just the back muscles doing the work. There's a time and a place for rotation. This is not a big rotation move. And when you finish one side, you can take your time and go over to side 2. Nice. Okay, you're all done. Before you pick up another weight, open and close your hands. Just make sure you're checking with your grip. Last thing I want is for you to get so tired or cramped that you drop a weight on your foot. So the little muscles in your forearm and your hands, if you haven't been lifting, need some love. Okay. So just check in that your grip is still good. We're going to go to our rear foot elevated split squat. So I'm going to start right there. Okay, starting non-dominant. 2. The back foot up. Drive that knee down and up. 4, 5. Nice. Okay. And when you get to your number, or before you fall over, weight down. Maybe reach forward, do a toe touch, shake out your hips, and we'll come down to the floor for our floor presses. And we'll wrap up our second circuit. So carefully move your weights into position. Settle your back into the floor. You can wiggle side to side. Do some pelvic tilts, get your back settled. Inhale, exhale, and press. I always think it's like you're trying to blow the weights away like they're light as a feather, and you're going to blow them up to the ceiling. Inhale down, exhale up. Very nice. Okay, grab a drink. Stretch what needs to be stretched. Maybe some cat-cow feel good. Some side wiggles. You've got a minute. It can be as long or as short a minute as you want. Oops. So I cut my head off. Here we go. Now I can see you. How you guys doing? So far, so good. 2 sets down, 1 to go. Doing a little more, a little better each time with this workout, I hope. Good. 10 more seconds. I will meet you on the floor. Okay. 30 seconds. Reverse Nordics, so we're on our knees, pressing our big toes together. And it's okay, you don't have to remember the sequence. That's my job. Up. So third set, you might be tired. Your thighs might be screaming at you. Do what you can do. Keep those glutes engaged. Keep your abs engaged. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Let's come up. Give your thighs a hand. They do a lot of work for us. Let's get set for our one-armed row. Okay, everybody get into position. You don't have to go with me. I'm watching you. Should know the move by now. Yep. And we'll pull. Nice job. Good job. You got this. Oh, don't get lightheaded. Put that weight down. Roll your shoulders. Maybe stretch out those back muscles. They worked hard. That was 3 sets. We have our rear foot elevated split squat. If you're pushing your weight and you're not sure you can keep it, try, or you can just drop back for the 3rd set. No judgment. I'm dropping back, mostly for my left side. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to talk about equalizing that non-dominant side. 2, when we have a break again. Nice, driving that back knee down. Switch sides when you're ready. Anybody else have a butt on fire? Good. Let's put that weight down. Wiggle your hips out. So one option, if you notice one side of you is a little bit weaker than the other. So for example, my right hip was replaced. I took a little break over the holidays, and now the difference between right and left is huge, where it wasn't huge before. The option you have is to do a 3rd workout where you're just working the left side of your body or the non-dominant side of your body, and you're slowly working to get it stronger. And that's going to be in my rotation now for a while until my left leg catches up. So you're noticing that too, for whatever reason. We're all more dominant on one side than the other. We're coming down for a floor press. Last one. Find a way to get some extra reps on that non-dominant side. So 10 to 12. Last round of floor press. Show me what you got. Literally straight up. You can touch the weights if you want. Squeeze those pecs. So if the weight you were using or the resistance you chose. Stretch out long on the floor. It doesn't leave you pretty pooped and not sure if you can do that last rep. You're using the right weight. If you just kind of cruised right through and it didn't feel that hard, and you felt like, oh, if Deb decided to do a fourth set of everything, we'd be good, then that's your cue. You need to up the challenge for next week. Somehow, either a heavier band, heavier weight, or something. Or reach out. We can figure out how to get creative with what you've got in your house. Okay, let's take a little bit. Let's kind of absorb the work that we just did. So that could be moving some way that feels good to you. Could be hip rocking, cat-cow, wiggling. And give your arms a little break because we have the arm finisher coming. So after we just did heavy with the arms, you're gonna take a little break and finish them off. I'm gonna put my office back. We have more floor space. Grab a drink. Grab some weights. We're doing biceps and triceps. Okay. Oh, you don't need to see my feet. Maybe let's just like lean one side and not worried what your feet are doing. Just kind of let your arm circle a little bit. Let the weight gently stretch out your shoulder and your arm. And come up and we'll do the other side. Just let that shoulder loose. Let it stretch. Good. And come up. Okay, so for biceps, I like to be in a split stance because the last thing you want is to be doing this with your back to lift the weight up. That's if you're going heavy. If you're not going heavy, you're going to get a lot of volume in. So we're going to start with the hammer and rotate up to the shoulder. So it looks like this. So the weights are neutral by the side of your hip, and then they rotate towards you as you come up. Let's do one more each side. And then we're going to take our arms to 90 degrees. Ooh, I picked a heavy weight. And we're going to crisscross. 3. So just holding our elbows bent, crossing our hands. Last one. Let's put one weight down. And we're going to settle down, bracing on a knee. So I want your hips holding you, but your hand on your knee is helping to support your back. We're going to pull up like you're pulling on a lawnmower and kick back. We're going to do that whole movement so we get even more biceps in. 3. Good. 2 more. And we'll switch sides. So settle in, make sure your hips are holding you. Pull, kick back and rotate your hand. So it's like you're holding a bowl of soup up to the ceiling. There you go. My arms are feeling like jello. Nice work. Good. Okay. Let's shake those arms out. Shake those wrists. Circle those wrists. And then start with a tricep stretch. So you're going to reach up, down the middle of your back. Try to pull your elbow back. There you go. I'm just going to kneel down so I don't have to keep changing the camera. We're going to hold this about 15 more seconds. It may or may not feel good depending on how heavy you are going. Okay, and we'll switch in 3, 2, 1. There you go. Reach down the middle of your back. Hold on to your elbow, bring it in towards your ear. Just take one arm across. So try not to let your shoulder migrate up to your ear. You're just holding on to your upper arm, pulling it in, getting a stretch across the back of your shoulder. And let's switch. Just make sure you're not hunching up, pull that shoulder down. Let that whole area back here have a nice big stretch. You can let this arm just dangle. That doesn't have to do anything. It's worked hard enough all day today already. Okay, let's stretch out your wrists. It's going to go a little bit into your biceps, forearms, upper arm. And then reverse that. So if you're palm out, you're going to be palm towards you. And you can go back and forth between those however you like for another 15 seconds or so. Yeah, it usually stretches afterwards. Feels nice. There we go. And switch sides. And again, if today was a day of noticing how your sides are, how they compare, maybe as you increase the challenge, you notice the difference more, then this is one more thing to notice, how your arms and your wrists respond to things. Okay, I'm back up to standing. We're going to take our arms, thumbs up in front of us, and sweep them along our sides. And then turn your thumbs towards each other and up. Get a little bit more stretch in the arms. And then we're going to clasp our hands behind our back. Roll your shoulders down and back. And lift up your arms with your feet nice and wide. Let's come into a forward fold. And let your arms come down. Let them dangle. Bring your hands onto your thighs. And let's do some shoulder drops like we did on the warm-up. Just check in with how everything feels. Okay. And then let's come all the way down on the floor. So work your way down there. Okay. We're going to cross one leg over the other. We can give your glutes some love. So one leg over the other, reach behind your thigh and pull both legs in. So both thighs get hugged in. There you go. Now whichever knee is on top, in my case it's my left knee on top, I'm going to twist to the right. Just a little bit and let your hips get a bit more stretch. Come back to center. We're going to put your right foot down for on that side and slide your ankle over your knee. What we're going to do is butterfly that knee. So one foot's down. It's kind of like you're going to go into a piriformis stretch, one of those number 4 stretches, whatever you want to call it. But we're just moving the knee. So we're pulling the knee in towards you, pushing it away towards whatever is in front of you. So it looks like this. This is easier to see. I can't tell. So really finding that range of motion that you have in your hip socket. And then keeping your knee pressed away from you, we're going to twist down to the side, keeping this hip nice and open. The tendency, especially with yoga, is to pull everything in and stretch the hip. I want your IT band in the front of your hip getting a nice big stretch. Okay, and then let's switch sides. So I'm going to cross the other knee over and hug both legs in. My right leg is on top, so I'm going to twist a little bit to the left. Let that right hip muscle, all the glutes and all those little muscles underneath, whose names I can never ever remember, get a nice big stretch. See if you can relax them. See if you can breathe and tell your hip muscles to relax. Okay, then we're going to bring your foot down, slide your ankle onto your knee. We'll do that butterfly move. Your knee comes towards you, knee comes away. It's actually like half a butterfly, one butterfly wing fluttering. Big flutter, little flutter, it doesn't matter as long as it flutters. Then keep that knee pressed away from you and twist down in the direction your foot's going. So this hip that you've just been moving around in the hip socket, the hip is nice and open. You're stretching the IT band. And a little bit on the front of the hip. Okay. And then slowly, let's roll over. Come on to hands and knees. We're just about done. Let's do some hip rocking. You can do it with your feet parallel, like you're on railroad tracks, or you can try turning your feet out from the knees. So it's almost like a frog position. Take your knees a little bit wider than, feet wider than where your knees are, and rock back into it. And then we're going to glide all the way forward and look up. Let your quads stretch, let your abs stretch, pull your shoulders down. Take a couple of deep breaths here, and we're all done. Whew. Thanks for the great workout. You guys did great today. We'll see you on Thursday.